Pokemon Eclipse, episode
Hey,
32, Jailbreak
Dave,
Rescue. So breaking into jail this week. Ooh, we got a little nice flipping back and forth animation there in the background. That's nice. That's something we haven't seen before for the show,
stopped some
to my knowledge.
Squad grunts from harvesting strange
Disclaimer.
prismatic amber.
Yep.
But afterwards, the professor was
Was under
unexpectedly
arrest.
arrested.
Great.
You're now
What the
crossing
frick were
a
you...
small desert
I know they
to
got
get
it
to
here,
the
but it's like,
police
what are the
station
odds?
and prove his innocence.
Yeah, you're gonna be freaking kidding me, that little twerp. Ugh. So we're gonna have like an Ace Attorney style Pokemon episode. I don't know if that's been done before. Maybe in the anime once.
It's so hot out here. Stupid police arresting our
But I don't think it hasn't been done in the games yet.
What do they think he did
No,
anyway?
maybe an episode of Pokemon Ranger. There's a lot of Pokemon stuff I haven't
always hear
explored.
these crazy rumors about the professor, that he's like a cheat and a scoundrel and like a terrible person and
Just
everything.
slap the Pokemon
But
label
he
and
told me
everything.
that's all just a lie, so I know we're good.
Exactly.
Well,
Though I gotta say,
at least he
when
didn't
we
read
used
on
to
the
work
internet.
together, or at least when I think
And
we
then
might have
believe
worked
that.
together, I do remember
I believe that
him
should be a
being
crossword puzzle in the
pretty
background.
irresponsible. I really do think it might have been him who tested a prototype device on me and left my thinker all mushified.
You hope that McHadron is mistaken. You're feeling
Wouldn't
quite
be outside
pride
the
as
realm
you
of possibility.
finally approach the police station. Maple dramatically kicks the door open, and you all run
Walking through
in.
this casual desert.
Grunkle Will is in cuffs with the two officers blocking your way. And
figured they
you
would have put him
notice
in the
sitting on
jail
their desk
temporarily.
is the last device component that you need.
Oh,
Give
perfect!
us our Grunkle back. You've got the wrong guy.
This is too easy.
You came to rescue me. Thanks, kids.
Of course, Professor. We know that you wouldn't be committing any crimes, right?
Look, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think you know the professor at all.
Professor
We've got a
Pines
big old
is
folder
pleading the
just
fifth,
overflowing
even though there is no
with
fifth in the
crimes.
Pokemon universe.
Overflowing seems like an exaggeration. Officer Blurland does in fact pull out a folder that is quite literally overflowing with reports.
Loitering, shoplifting,
It's that meme with
grand
just
theft,
like the
auto,
small book and then
I
the
had a good
Bible-sized
excuse for
one.
those.
At
impersonating
least the one that was
an officer,
cartoonishly big.
Just the one time.
impersonating a clergyman,
That one was actually.
I'm not even religious.
stealing radioactive waste.
I prefer borrowing.
Okay, that one's for a personal project.
Enough of that. Sorry, kids, but he's not going anywhere.
Kids,
Got away with so
these
much stuff it
bozos
becomes
won't listen,
cartoonish,
right? They
but it's a
refuse to
cartoon, so it's
believe
fine.
That Glee is up to no good and that they need to be stopped.
Two people can be evil at
fact-
the same time.
For the good of Twin Falls and the whole Hoax region, I think it's time for a good old-fashioned jailbreak.
But you're not in jail yet.
Moose and McHadron dive between the officers and begin helping the professor pick open his handcuffs. In order to stop the officers from intervening, you and your sister throw out your Pokemon and challenge
I could
the
totally
two
see
police
the
officers.
Game
Maple
Freak not even
uses the
animating
starter
like
that you
handcuffs,
didn't
just his
choose,
hands would be behind
as
his
the
back and that's
officers
it.
lead with a smell tip and
But hey,
type
whatever gets
tester.
the job done, right?
These steel types are tough.
Why waste the extra
But
storage space
you
and work when you
managed
could
to
just
take
get the
these
job across
first
that
two
way?
down. Gourmandus comes out next, and unfortunately, Maple has to send out her next Pokemon, a Kleptonest.
Oh, okay.
But
nice.
even more unfortunately, the officers have Kleptonest's evolution to send out against.
Wait, what? Oh, you
yeah.
gotta be kidding me.
Time for the final
It's a nice
stage
transition.
for our shiny loving bird line. So we're going to go in a kind
so that
of
was a hummingbird,
odd
duh.
direction here. This line is based on the Alicanto from Chilean folklore, a bird that eats metal deposits and causes it to glow with a metallic shimmer. The first two stages of this line were a blue jay and a bowerbird, each known for liking shiny objects. But I
Makes
wasn't
sense.
sure what I wanted to do with the final stage. I looked into Chilean wildlife and came across something perfect. Not only do we not have a hummingbird Pokemon yet,
Okay, so it's not.
kind of bananas.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of
But
Pokemon
the
that they just
Chilean
haven't done.
Woodstar
Real life
has
animals they haven't
iridescent
done yet
feathers
for Pokemon. It's
and
like,
a
what do you
really
mean they haven't done
unique
yet?
tail
We have
feather
56
pattern.
freaking rats, but this.
And just to Pokemonify it, we'll also make it huge, so that it can still be.
I
You know,
love this thing's
legendary looking
design.
like the Alicanto.
It does look legendary
the
with this
shiny
color.
is
Look,
great,
you put gold on
because it
something,
gets to
boom, it
bring
looks
in the
legendary. Well,
purple
they actually got
from
the
the
1000
actual
Pokemon in the
Chilean
background
Woodstar.
of
Okay, let's
Fruipy.
meet Klepticanto,
I mean,
the collector.
I've had my
Pokemon.
opinions of the fruit of the
This
1000 Pokemon, but I
exceptionally
will admit
fast
its color is
bird
nice.
Searches the
But this is
land
just
for natural metal deposits
gorgeous.
and man-made scraps. Klepticanto are very picky about what metals they eat, and the types of metal will leave them
This
with
is totally
different
fine being only 2
colorations.
frames of animation, even in the,
The
actual
speed
game,
at
just
which they
because
beat their razor
that's the
sharp
point.
wings
It's
gives them
it's a Pokemon.
unmatched aerial
Also, the
mobility.
shiny coloring is gorgeous
The
too, but I
ability is
love the
mirror
gold one
armor,
more.
and it's
Gold's better
reflective
than
metal, and
gold.
that
Looks more appealing
bounces
than
back
platinum.
any stat-lowering
Well,
effects.
based on
With the
opinion, of
alternate
course.
abilities being Pick Up and Frisk. Kleptocanto zips around with its ridiculous speed stat, and Maple's poor Kleptonest doesn't stand a chance.
Nope.
You manage
Okay,
to
fire
take
starter, go get
and
it.
the Gormandus down, but Maple is down to her very last Pokemon, her lovable Squaddles.
Time for it to
While
evolve
the
again.
officers send out their final 2 Pokemon as well. First up is the ever-terrifying Phasmagor.
Would you go away
And
already?
to
You are
balance things out,
everywhere.
we get the evolution to the adorable Jangalam.
Her evolution?
So, a
Oh
quick
boy.
reminder, this line is based on the Shore Laddie, a mostly
I looked at the
friendly
Dipper picture.
cryptid whose sheep-like fur is covered in seashells and ice and
Jeez,
stone
this
and
thing
stuff.
is
I wanted to
demonic
find
looking,
another
especially
animal
that
hasn't been
head-on shot.
represented in Pokemon, and turned to the humble muskox. I spent a little bit of time living in Alaska, where they technically
Really?
live way at the top, but I find them fascinating.
Well, as
It's
top
such
as
a
you can get without
large,
being in the
hardy
North
animal
Pole.
living in the Arctic. Very cool. Also, in the spring, when they lose some of their coat, it kind of clumps off and gets stuck in a similar way to the Shore Laddie having ice and whatnot in its fur. I think that works. And
Yeah,
those
that works.
horns.
I agree.
I mean, if those don't scream just the nerdiest haircut, I don't know what does.
They do kind of
so
look like
that
luscious
works
locks.
well with the lammy dance inspiration from the first stage. We're also
It kind of
taking
reminds
the
me of
few
like when I
stones
found out
stuck
about
into
like
Jangalam's
just the
fur
Thomas and Friends one,
and
but it's like
really
Emily's
giving
black
this goober some
livery thing on her
protective
side
armor.
is supposed to be like women's
And
hair. It's
for
like,
its
huh?
typing,
I never looked at
while
it that
it'll
way,
still
but
technically be
I can
just
kind of see it
ice
now that
and
you pointed
stone,
out.
It'll be so incredibly strong that we're swapping in the steel typing. Now, I don't know, you can pretend the stones have like iron ore or something in them if you want to, whatever.
Sure.
But, yeah, with a big sweet smile on his face, we get one of the friendliest cryptid Pokemon around. This is Jangilox.
I like
The
its
messy
design a
wool
lot.
Pokemon.
I think the shiny
This
design is a bit
friendly
better
ice
though,
type
but
likes
this
to
is fine
protect
too. I
its
mean,
friends
it's ice
by
steel. It's
standing
good.
as a barrier. It intentionally tangles shells into its long fur like armor and strengthens
cool
the
design.
bonds with ice. Its backside is as strong as any man-made alloy.
Mmm.
Jangilox loves to dance about for their trainers, which can get quite noisy as their tough scales clang together.
You think the
The
steel in the
ability
Pokemon
is
universe is
something
made
new.
out of
We're
steel
calling it
types?
Sharp debris, so it
Like,
will
did steel come
scatter
from
spikes
Pokemon
at
and
the feet of the
this
opposing
is
Pokemon
gonna open
whenever
some
it
sort of
takes
like
a
infinite
physical
loop
attack.
rabbit
So kinda
hole
like
thing.
the toxic debris. Yeah, you get how it goes. The hidden ability is still fluffy. It bounds around excitedly, which is quite different from Phasmagor's intense stare. You're ready to battle when both of the officers reveal that they have beast merged.
You're gonna be
friends,
kidding me! You
and they
too?
begin to fuse. All right, first up, let's
Well, at least we get to see a new
spooky
form for
with
Phasmagor. Or
So
Phasbugor,
originally,
my bad.
it was the animatronics from Gravity Falls and, Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's with a
Just
little,
threw a little
claw
spring trap in there,
machine
too.
thrown in for a nice silhouette. But now we just have to continue with the FNAF stuff and pull in some
Sure,
spring
lean in a little
trap.
bit.
I wanted the trainer to be scooped up and sitting inside the torso,
Ooh.
actually similar to how Freddy carries the player around in Security Breach. I think that's
The most
just
boring
a little
game
more
ever made,
interesting
in
than
my opinion.
wearing the whole thing like a suit. And it lets us get these nice skinny mechanical legs on the design, which I think is
It's
kind
the
of funny.
playthrough. It's like, this looks
Now,
so boring.
I don't know how familiar you may be with FNAF lore, which
Yeah.
is, in my humble opinion, kind of a convoluted mess.
Oh, really?
But,
You too?
the
Next you're gonna
suits
tell me
are
Kingdom Hearts
spring
goes all
lock
over the
suits
place.
that you can wear and can also move on their own.
Then again,
and
you know,
have
Cortex
these,
be
like,
Cortex.
springs and mechanisms inside. But there's a character, a certain evil purple character.
Yeah, the
who
lore
puts
of it
on
when
the
you actually
suit
start
and
thinking about it, it's
cannons
like, that's
fail, and
fucking
he gets all
horrific.
Swiss cheesified by the
Yeah.
mechanisms. So we're doing that here.
I will
Of course,
admit,
it's
I was not
Pokemon,
expecting the
and
fat
we're
one to be
hand-waving the
inside
fact
of the
that metal is actually
Phasbagor.
causing damage to the trainer.
But, play against
As
stereotypes, I
violent
guess.
as it looks, it more just helps the trainer puppet the suit, since a, puppet master look felt appropriate as well. And of course, the drips just have to be purple in homage to the purple guy from FNAF. Good old Afton Guts. Just
Was that the
spilling
bite of
out. Also,
87?
real quick, Shout out to everyone who wanted me to do a Springtrap lock design.
It would have been
There's a bunch
hysterical
of you
if
guys.
this Pokemon's
I hope
special
you
ability is
approve. Okay,
it can use
let's
bites
learn all
87
about
times.
Beast Merge
Like its
Phasmagor.
PP is just
The
87.
Springtrap. Phasmagor's mouth splits apart and they devour
The
their trainer.
golden
After
spring
destroying,
lock
the
suit
trainer
thing
is
is just
revealed
glorious with the
nestled between
shiny.
sharp
That's genius.
springs
I
and
love that.
spikes. Metal protrusions connect the trainer's arms, allowing it to puppet the suit.
So freaking
while
messed up. You're getting that
concentrated
metal
malice
shoved through
seeps
your
out of the patchwork
arms
body.
just so you can
After
maneuver
unfusing,
the thing.
The trainer feels dull aches in their arms, as
Yeah,
if
I
they
can't
had been
imagine why.
impaled. The ability is Strong Jaw.
This is messed
which
up. I don't want to be
boosts
anywhere near
fighting
this
moves
thing.
by 50%. Yeah, I think that's
Would you like to beast merge with this? No,
It
I don't know.
shambles
I'm not a
towards you.
masochist.
as Jangalox fuses next to it.
I think I'm going to say there's something wrong
So,
with that. No, there is something
Phasmagor
wrong with
looks
that.
pretty intense. So we need something a lot lighter to balance it out. One of the
So we're going with
dumbest,
dice.
but one of my favorite moments with Deputy Durlin from Gravity Falls is that episode where they are LARPing and he just says, "I'm a fortress." I don't know why. I just think it's funny. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna get an icy LARP.
It's
fortress.
always it's meant to show that just that one line that kills
This
you.
was
You have
super
no
easy,
idea
matching
why.
the Jangalox feet to the snow piled up.
I know
at
you're
the
in
base
there. I
and
can
getting
hear you
some of its
caring.
stones sprinkled throughout. After that, it's just having fun doing a nice subtle ice pattern. There's a bunch of ways to do this, but I like making a couple of layers,
I like how you want to
creating
do
a bunch
ice
of
theme
triangles
this one.
and sharp rhombuses.
It's gonna slay the heck out of
By
you if it can
locking these
start
layers
moving
so
at
that
all.
I can't draw on anything
I can see
outside
why
of
she
them.
was using for this
I
one,
can use a
though.
soft brush to add a
Makes
little
more
bit
sense
of
now.
a gradient to their colors, and then after messing with the layers' opacities, we get an easy, sparkly ice look. But enough of that. Let's learn about Beast Merge Jangalox. The
Shiny design is
frozen
nice. The
fortress.
original is a better, in my opinion.
Jangalox
It just
breaks
leans
apart
more
into
into
a
the
mass
ice.
of ice
I
blocks
prefer the
which
shiny design for
form
the
around
original
their
form,
trainer
but for
to
this,
create a
when it comes to the
defensive
actual
tower.
Beast Merge,
The
no.
trainer pulls out a pair of icy
No, that's bad, but
weapons,
still.
which they can't help but flail about wildly. While
I'm
the
going to
tower can
start
only inch
swinging
forward
my
slowly,
arms, and if
it
you
is
get
somehow
hit,
able
it's
to
your
spin
own
quickly
fault.
and
Look at
pummel
that
its
speed
opponents with
stats.
attacks. This unfortunately
Well, to be fair, you
leaves
are-
the trainer quite dizzy afterwards. The ability is
Again, you're
protection. This is
stuck,
something
so
new.
you're not
So,
going to be moving very
when
much.
targeting an ally,
Let's think this is a
with
Beast
any
Merge form. Imagine if
move,
this was an
it
actual
negates the
Pokemon.
effects of the move,
Just trying to move
and
around. That'd be
instead
heck.
draws the opponent's moves towards it. So it's basically you can use any move as follow me when you target your friend.
Neat.
And these two work together extremely well.
I can
with
see
Jangalox
why.
tanking hits for her partner. You're really having your butt handed to you. You don't know how much longer your Pokemon will be able to
Well,
hold
now
out.
we have to
You
Beast
look over at
Merge.
Maple,
Ugh.
and a new level of determination has taken a hold as
Oh,
she lifts
she's
her
gonna
Beast
Beast
Merge
Merge.
necklace high. Her ever faithful Squaddles squeals triumphantly as the two fuse together.
No more messing
Now,
around.
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this fusion, so a big thank you to Spectilla, Gideon Fuston, Alpha Bloom, and a
Gideon
couple
fitting.
others for pushing me towards a giant flying Waddles. So this is a reference to the giant Waddles that is in the Gravity Falls finales.
Yeah, when they go
along
inside
with
her
the
dream.
phrase, "When pigs fly," and of course Mabel's shooting star logo.
I thought it was from
Squaddles
Mario, to
already
be
has
honest.
some wing motifs in its design, so it
Whee!
was really easy
Since
to
we have
just
the time of her
elaborate
life.
on those. I thought about bringing in the water typing for this, since it is still based on a squonk, the cryptid inspiration where it like cries and all the time and can disappear into puddles of water and whatnot. But flying just felt much more thematic.
Yeah,
for this.
it's fine
and I also love the
digityping
idea
if it
that
makes
for this
sense,
battle
you
that
know.
we're having, Maple needs to overcome
Like Gyarados saying a
poison
flying
and
type anymore, it's a
steel
dark when it
and
mega
ice
evolves.
types with her poor fairy and flying type.
Ooh.
A real uphill battle. Let's see
Yeah.
what she has to work with using Beast Merge Squaddles.
This looks great.
The shooting star.
I do kind of wish that
Squaddle
its
grows into a
head things
massive
were
bean
actually
shape
eyes,
and scoops
though.
up their trainer onto a
Okay, I
comfortable
love
cushion.
the rainbow bits
magical
of the
wings,
base
this
form, but I
form
also
is
like
able
the
to
yellow
speed through
star
the
of the
sky.
shiny form.
While its
But you
body
lose
is
one on
soft
the
and
other, so
squishy,
take if only I
the
could like
star pattern
Beast
is
Merge the
incredibly
Beast Merge.
durable and is used
Oh,
to
well.
crash into opponents.
Then
After
again,
unfusing,
canonically, Mabel has
trainers
the
are
shiny, so
overcome
she has to
with
hold
the
the
desire
star.
to hug their squaddles. The ability is something new we are calling Meteor Burn. So, using flying type attacks, they will deal either flying or fire type damage, depending on which will be more effective against the
Ooh.
target. So, even though Maple and Squaddles are
I
at
have
a
type
type
disadvantage,
disadvantage,
and that's a
their
good
sheer
thing.
determination and awesome ability give you the edge you need, and the two of you take down the
Boom.
opposite.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
break from their
Pretty much what I was
Pokemon
thinking. I
and
was
fall
thinking
to
just
the
like
ground.
follow the ground,
By this
explosion,
point,
move on.
you see that not only
that
has
works
the
too.
professor gotten out of his cuffs, but he's scooped up the last device component
Mine.
and slipped out.
And now
a
he's giving the
nearby
Patreon
window
Ko-fi
with
plug.
Mechadron. Moose is now trying to squeeze out of that window, but he has gotten stuck. You and your sister book it to the door, but it flies open on its own, and you find someone blocking the way.
Looker.
What seems to be going on here?
Looker, help us out here. These criminals broke the professor out of jail and have plans to go after Lil Glee.
Looker observes you and your sister, and Moose awkwardly hanging out the window.
I hope I'm not wrong here, but I'm actually going to just step aside and let them go.
What?
There's a lot more going on in town with Glee and the Cypher Squad than you officers realize.
Thanks, Looker.
Time for me to fill you two in. Pines family, if it really is an emergency, you better get going.
Looker helps Moose out of the window and does, in fact, just let you all go.
He's stuck in there
Once
like
you
Winnie
get
the
outside,
Pooh
the
at Rabbit's
professor
house.
and Mechadron are nowhere to be seen. With all of the device components, you're sure
We're
the
all
professor
alone,
went
but we
back
have
to the
everything
lab.
we need.
But
Where else could
we'll
he have
pick up
gone?
from
It only
there
makes
in the
sense.
next
Unless he's gonna be the
episode.
Swiss villain, but he wouldn't
Be
do that
sure to leave
twice.
a like,
We just
comment,
did that in
and
Amber.
subscribe if you are enjoying this series.
So many
There's
cool
a new puzzle
Pokemon, so
added
many
to the
cool
Discord
Beast
server, so
Merges. There was
be
so
sure
much
to
new
check out the
cool
video
stuff in this
description for
episode.
details on how
It
to
was so
join all
awesome.
of the journal deciphering fun if you haven't already. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters, and the biggest shoutouts to Angel and Cyberlord. Those two are just
Yeah, this
the
is
freaking
just great.
best.
I love
Okay.
I love the
I will
bird
catch you in
thing, the
next
beast
one.
merges are
Later,
pretty cool,
nerds.
especially the rocket. It's a rocket going like, there, kill that one. The castle thing's pretty cool. The freaking beast merge with Phasbagor is freaking horrific. Just imagine getting stabbed in the arms like that. It's like now puppeteer. It's like, oh, that's some like Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. But to be fair, it's based on a horror franchise, so it makes sense. Ugh. FNAF may be a bit controversial stuff like that, but I'll still hold to that first game. I mean, even if the first game isn't the best in the franchise play-wise, I still think it has the best lore, just because it's so freaking simple. But an evil guy still has a bunch of kids in suits, and now they want to kill you. The end. You could even have the freaking MatPat headcanon where it's like, you're the bad guy who did this, and this is your personal hell. There. Now, that one's not true anymore, but it's easy. I could wrap my head around this. Oy. But I'm pretty sure that's a cool take, too. Oy. Anyway, that was they had to break us out. I love the reading of all the things he did wrong. Just like, it's all freaking insanity. Just like, how did you just steal nuclear waste and not get, well, nuclefied? Well, then there's a Pokemon world where freaking, like, Macargo should melt in the center of the Earth, but he doesn't because the Pokedex entries aren't really canon. But it's still, like, the Pokemon world has a lot of nutty stuff. It's a cold take as well, so, who knows, maybe nuclear waste doesn't cause radiation and cancer and all that stuff. I don't know. Pokemon in radiation is different from real world radiation. Anywho, just freaking, I love it's simple as he got stuck in the window. That's such an easy joke, it just caught me off guard. Just like, damn it, you idiots. And the battle itself would seem like pretty intense one too, where it's just like, okay, we might actually lose this one. I mean, I know it's because the script in the actual games you probably just curb stomp them, and you wouldn't probably get to see the. Well, okay, the Mabel fusion might be what's the term? It might be a scripted one, so it's like even if they are down to the last two Pokemon, Mabel automatically switches out to her ace, I guess. The pig. So yeah, so maybe it's just like that regard. I could see them doing that like a nice Mogre, because I know they're over. Either way, but yeah, cool new Beast Merge forms, and yeah, I liked it. The only one I was a bit off on was the yak one with the long hair, but you know, it leads to a funny Beast versus the castle thing of the two. I'm gonna spin my arms like this. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, like the golden bird thing was just glorious. I love that. Just like, okay, that's it. You're gonna be my starter or bird now. I just love that thing. Anywho, yeah. So that's my opinion on this. And it was a great episode. And thank you for Fruitbeard who made this and the original thing. Link to the channel in the description, of course. So it seems like now we got the books back. We have our 2 books. We have all the pieces needed for the machine. Rotom Dex has all the forms. We're basically complete at this point. Now we just need to run back to Professor Pines and get that last book from Glee, I believe, and then we should have everything be done. Oh yeah, good for Looker for helping us out there when we needed it, just because that could have ended much messier, because needed. But hopefully Looker will back us up, and now the police will cooperate with me now too. 2 people could be evil at the same time. There's not always an innocent party. So yeah, hopefully we'll see more of that in the future. But for now, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see where the story goes next. I wonder where Professor Pines is. Probably back in his shack, but we'll have to wait and see. So, until next time, later.